everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jacqueline and I make new videos every week, a whole variety of things, lifestyle, beauty, adventure, all sorts of fun stuff, and I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And today I have the next part of my beauty collection series. This is definitely one of my favorite categories, is highlighter. I did not realize how many face highlighters I had, so I'm just gonna kind of hop in. I'm gonna start with my liquid and creams and then go into my powders. I actually have quite a few liquid highlighters, so yeah, let's just dive right in. So the first one I have, and I really love this one's great also as like a primer. It's a little bit intense, but I love this. This is a Maybelline Master Strobing Light. And this is the shade 100 Light Iridescent. So I'll swatch this for you. It's this beautiful like icy pink color right there. And it's like almost chrome. It's not really like shimmery or glittery. It's more of like a chrome color, but it's super pretty. Like I said, this is pretty kind of as like a primer on the top of your, like on your cheekbones and stuff like that, but it's also just pretty like on its own over foundation and stuff. It's just like a really beautiful, it's definitely super intense, but it's a really pretty kind of pink color. Usually I'll either, like what I just did, I'll kind of use my finger and tap it a little bit in, or I'll use a sponge to blend this in, but it's just such a pretty color and it works so well. And I love that it's not like shimmery and glittery. I love that it's kind of that like chromatic sheen more. I think this comes in other colors too, but I do really love this kind of like pinky icy color. Another drugstore one that this one definitely is a great as a primer is the NYX Born to Glow. I don't know, this is in 01 Sunbeam. Again, this is kind of like a pinky chromatic-y sort of thing. It definitely has a little bit more of like a glitter to it, but again, not much. It's still kind of that chromatic pinky sort of color. This one's definitely not quite as punchy. If you blend it in, it definitely works great as like a primer. You can see it almost blends into my skin tone there once I blend it out. So it works great as a primer for if you want something like really, really glowy under your primer, under your foundation. I mean, maybe if you're using like a really matte foundation and you want to look a little bit more glowy, that's definitely a good one. And the NYX products are always so great because they're at a great price point, but this one's just really nice and I really, really enjoyed it. It's definitely not my favorite cream highlighter, neither is the Master Chrome, but they're both really good options and I really like them. They're definitely very similar products as well, so I don't think you need both, but yeah, they're both really good, so I don't think you could go wrong either way. But yeah, this one's a great one. Now, one that I love, this is my probably of the next two I'm showing, they probably tied. One's more expensive, this one's definitely on the cheaper side. So if you want to try out a liquid highlight and you want to try the next one I talk about, maybe try this one first because it's definitely a lot cheaper and they're very similar. I can't even read the label on this anymore, but this is a Revolution liquid highlighter in champagne. Like I said, you can't even read the label anymore because I used it so much. So this is one of those kind of like dropper system things. This dropper actually works pretty well, as you can see. So usually I'll just take a little bit on the back of my hand. Now it's not gonna work. I usually just take a little bit on the back of my hand and use my sponge or my finger to tap it out on the high points of my cheeks. But this is a beautiful champagne color highlight. Champagne's definitely like the perfect way to describe it, but it's so reflective and beautiful. I love this one for the summer and the winter. It's just such a pretty color and it works so well. You definitely do not need a lot, like just the teeniest drop will do you, but it's just so beautiful and it spreads out so amazing, blends in great. You can definitely get it, and I see there at the bottom it's more subtle, but you definitely build this up and make it, you know, really punchy like I have here. It's just a really great product, and for the price, this isn't that expensive. You get a huge bottle. This will last you a really, really long time because you do not need a lot. Like you saw how much I put on my hand and like that's gonna go a long ways. This is just definitely one of my favorites. It's one of my go-tos. I love to use cream products, especially in the winter time on my dry skin. I just think it looks really, really nice. And that's one I reach for all the time in the winter. It's just such a beautiful formula, a beautiful color, and it just works really, really well. And it's definitely one that I know I can just put on really quickly and it's gonna look great. So I definitely love this one. This next one's really similar as well, but it's definitely more expensive. It might be a slightly nicer product and look slightly better on the skin. So if you do love cream highlights, this might be a good one to try, and it would last you, like the full size would last you forever. I have a little sample size and this has lasted me forever, so I can only imagine the full size lasting you a really long time. This is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops, and I'm pretty sure I have the shade Sunlight, I think. I don't know, it's rubbed off, but again, it's kind of that beautiful champagne-y color, and again, this will last you forever. You do not need a lot, and it's super, super intense. Like such a pretty, definitely a sheen again. Once again, none of these are super glittery. The Cover FX one, or the Revolution one, might be a little bit glittery, but this is definitely like a chromatic sheen. You can see it there. Again, this is just beautiful right on the top of the cheekbones. And it's just such an easy product. You don't have to think about it too much. It blends out super beautifully, but it doesn't lose any of its sheen. Like as you blend it out, it just looks so beautiful on the skin. And none of these are like super oily or anything. They're just a really pretty formula, especially this one. Like it feels almost like silky smooth once it's kind of dried down. It doesn't dry down to a powder, but it definitely feels like silky smooth and like it would set really well with a powder, which I think is important for cream products. So that custom cover ones is definitely, or the Cover FX one, sorry. The Cover FX one is probably my favorite one. It is expensive, like I said, but it is just so, so beautiful and it works so well that I love it. So I have two kind of stick highlights. The first one, I have a little sample size of the Benefit Watts Up. I honestly don't reach for this one that much. I'm not sure why. I just don't. The color is not quite right for my skin tone. It's almost, you can't really tell. It's right there. I can't really tell on camera, I don't think, but it's almost like an orangey color on my skin tone. It's just not quite the right shade for me personally. I know people love the What's Up highlighter. It's just not my favorite. There's nothing wrong with the formula. I think the formula is great. It spreads out really easily. The actual like stick is really nice and smooth, so you can definitely get it on really easily, but it doesn't dry down too fast that you can't blend it out. I just don't think the shade's really right for me, so I keep it in my collection for if I want to do like a cream eyeshadow look. This would probably be pretty on my lids, but it's just not my favorite. But I know lots of people love this, so if it fits your skin tone, I think it's a great highlighter. It just doesn't really suit me. The next one is kind of a blush highlighter combo for me depending on how tan I am, but this is a great one for like quick 5-minute faces. I love this one because I can kind of put it on my cheek and my cheekbone, like the apple of my cheek and my cheekbone, and get like one blush highlight sort of look. This is a NARS Multiple in the shade Hot Sand. So again, it's kind of that pinky, it's almost like pinky nude. It almost looks like my skin tone with just like a slight flush to it. I don't think you can even tell again on camera, but it definitely has like a slight pinky sort of color to it, but it's really just a beautiful glow to the skin. It's not a sheen, it's not chromatic, it's not glittery in any way. It just kind of gives you like a beautiful sheen, like you're lit from within. It's definitely a more subtle highlight, a more natural sort of highlight. But again, like I said, for like a 5-minute face where, you know, I just want to like throw on a BB cream, some blush, highlight, and bronzer, I will reach for this a lot because it just works so well and it's super simple and easy. I can just kind of get it on my face and blend it in really quick, and it just looks beautiful and gives me that blush highlight all in one. And so I just really like this. I haven't tried any other NARS multiples, but I always want to just because I love this Hot Sands one so much. Yeah, and it's just a really, really good cream highlight blush sort of situation. All right, so let's move on to my powders next. So I'm gonna start with some drugstore ones. The first one is this e.l.f. Baked Highlighter in the shade Moonlight Pearls. And I love this highlighter. I bought this as part of, I did a video a while back about the cheapest makeup at Target, and at the time this was the cheapest highlight, and it might still be, but it's this beautiful like light champagne color. I wouldn't call it a true champagne, but it's definitely like a light champagne-y gold sort of color, and it's just really pretty. It packs a punch and it looks so beautiful on the skin, and I actually find myself reaching for this one quite a bit. It's a great color for my skin tone in the winter. It's a little light for me right now. It'd be pretty obvious on my skin, but it's just such a pretty color that I really, really enjoy it. It's really soft, and it's not like super, super soft, but because it's baked, it goes on your skin so well and so smooth. And I just think it's a really pretty color and a pretty highlight. And for the price, you can't go wrong. Like it's great quality. It looks beautiful on the skin, and it's only a couple bucks. So maybe if you're just starting out in makeup, or you just want something quick and easy and you don't want to break the bank, this is definitely a great option, and I love this one. Another drugstore one, this is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Precious Petals. I remember when this came out, I was still living in Philadelphia at the time, and I remember everybody talking about this, so I went out and got it too. It took me forever to find, and I still love it. It's such a pretty highlight. It's definitely a more intense highlight, and it's definitely for a certain skin tone. They do make other shades of this Precious Petals, or of the Mega Glow highlight, but this one actually looks really pretty on my skin, especially in the summer, because it's a little bit deeper of a shade, but it's this beautiful pinky gold color. I hope you can see it on my skin, but it's such a pretty color, and this actual highlighter itself is so beautiful. It's finely milled. It's not glittery. It's definitely a chromatic sort of sheen to the face, and it just works really well. And again, for the price, it's a great highlighter to try. They do have a bunch of different colors to kind of suit skin tones and stuff like that, but the Precious Petals is definitely a great one if it fits your skin tone. I do really love this shade, and yeah, it's just a great highlighter in general. I think Wet n Wild makes some great powders. I actually have one other highlighter from them as well, but this is a great one. So next one again was kind of a cult favorite. People like rushed out to get this one. This is the Wet n Wild shimmer. They call it a shimmer palette in Boozy Brunch. I know this was like a limited edition one. At first it was Fergie or something, I don't know, but they came back out with it and called it Boozy Brunch and made it permanent. So it kind of has these like swirls of different colors in it, and so I just mix them all together. First of all, this pan size is huge. Like, who needs this much highlighter? You're never gonna go through this pan, like, unless this is the only highlighter you use and use it every day. I don't know who's going through this big of a pan, but anyway, so it's kind of a really intense gold color. I don't think that pink and the bronzer color kind of like play into it at all. Obviously each pan is gonna be different because it's all like swirled, but it's just a really beautiful, intense gold highlight. And again, I think if this fits your skin tone and works for your skin, it's a beautiful highlight. It works really well. It's finely milled. The powder feels nice on the skin. It's not the most luxurious product, but it works really, really well. It doesn't look glittery or shimmery on the skin. But again, if this doesn't fit your skin tone, then obviously it's not gonna be the right one for you. I know they make other ones of these as well, but Boozy Brunch was just such a popular color back in the day that I ran out and got it, and I still really like it, especially in the summer. I reach for this a lot in the summer. The gold looks really nice on my skin in the summer. Again, it's a little too deep for me in the winter, but it's a really nice highlight. And seriously, who's gonna go through this much highlight? Like, that's huge. Like, it's the size of a palm. It's like huge. Come on. Anyway, but this is a really good one if you're looking again for maybe something a little bit more inexpensive, but it's gonna pack a punch. This is a good one. All right, so let's go on to the high-end ones. I'm gonna talk about this one really quick because I know it's limited edition and they don't make it anymore, and I've looked for it a bunch of places and I can't find it anywhere except for the Exchange. I think I can still find it on the Exchange website, but if you're not a military family member, you're not gonna be able to get it there. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hill and Breezy highlighter, and I remember this came out. I heard about it everywhere. People were loving it, and it took me forever to get my hands on it, and I finally found it, and it is as good as everyone says it is. It's so super soft, so super smooth. There's a reason people love this when it came out. It's this beautiful gold color, kind of really, it's like almost a true gold. It's like true gold leaning towards champagne, but it's a really nice light color. But like, look at that, it packs a punch and it just looks so beautiful on the skin. Again, it's not glittery, it's not shimmery, it just looks beautiful on the skin, and it's just such a pretty highlight. It works really well, and if you have this or you can still get your hands on it somehow, I recommend it. I love it. I just don't like to talk about it that much because I know you can't get your hands on it that easily. So it is really, really pretty though, and I love the powder. So if Anastasia's powders are all like this, I'd recommend them. I don't know, I don't have any other highlights, but this one's really, really nice. All right, I have another Cover FX highlight. This is one of their powder ones. This one's a little bit hard to find too. I think they still sell it at Sephora. I don't know if they sell the specific shade, but I know they still sell it, like their highlighting powders at Sephora. This is their Perfect Light highlighting powder in the shade Sunlight. And this is just a beautiful everyday highlight. It almost matches my skin tone. Like, I don't think you can even see it on my finger. But what I like about this is it's just the perfect everyday, yeah, you can barely see on my skin, perfect everyday sunlight or everyday highlight. It just gives you the most subtle glow, and it just looks like your lip from within. Obviously the shade's not going to work for every skin tone. They do have a few other colors, but if you can find one that fits your skin tone, this is just a beautiful everyday easy highlight. You can just throw it on. You don't have to be super precise with it. It's just going to make you look beautiful and glowing, and that's what I really appreciate in this highlight. It's just really pretty, and I really like it. Super soft and finely milled, and just feels really nice on the skin. And yeah, I just really, really enjoy this one. Again, this one's a little bit hard to find because Laura Geller is no longer sold at Ulta. So you have to buy it off their website, which kind of sucks, but I do really enjoy it. This is their Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in their classic Gilded Honey. Again, this is one of those ones that like everybody was talking about. People loved Gilded Honey. It was everywhere. And I got a little sample size of it, and I love it too. It's super, super pretty. I love this for the summer. It's a very intense gold color. Definitely not for the faint of heart. It's super gold. I don't know if these colors are coming across on camera, but in person it's like super, super gold. But I really enjoy this one. It's really nice too, like on the lid. It just packs a punch. It looks so beautiful on the skin. It makes you just look really warm and glowing, like you spent all day in the sun. And this is just how my skin glows now. Maybe that's silly, but that's how I always feel when I put this on. I just think it's really pretty and beautiful. I love the formula. It's super soft, super smooth. This one is a little bit more on like the glittery side, but it's so finely milled that it's more of like, again, like a glow than like glitter. But I really like this one, and if, you know, maybe you're placing an order on Laura Geller for other things, I think it's a good one to try. I really enjoy it. I just hate that it's so hard to find Laura Geller products now, but it is really nice. Okay, the last three are all from Becca. I love Becca highlighters. These are all their Shimmering Skin Perfectors, their pressed ones. I know they have like the poured ones and liquid ones and stuff. I have all the pressed ones. So I have the shades Opal, Moonstone, and Champagne Pop. Champagne Pop is a little broken, and by a little I mean a lot broken. So yeah. So I'll swatch it for you really quick, but yes, I'm gonna close it. Champagne Pop was the first one I had, and I actually used Champagne Pop on my wedding day, and it's just, there's a reason it's a classic. It's just such a pretty color. It's, again, champagne, light champagne color. These are kind of like in between super punchy and subtle. I think they're like a perfect kind of combination of, you know, it's packing a punch, and you can definitely tell you're wearing a highlighter and you look glowy, but it doesn't look super unnatural. And that's the reason I love this for my wedding day. I just thought it was such a pretty color, and it gave me that beautiful glow that a bride wants without being overpowering and like fake looking. And so I really like that one. I think Champagne Pop's probably my favorite color. This is Opal. It's a little bit deeper of a color. Again, this one doesn't always work on my skin tone depending on the season. It's a little bit more pink toned, like a pinky peach color. In the winter, this one really stands out. It's up there on my skin. It's just a little too dark for my skin tone in the winter. And the last one I have is Moonstone. This one's the lightest of the three, and this one doesn't work for me in the summer just because it's a little too light. You can probably see it up there. It just looks a little chalky on my skin in the summer, but it's super pretty for me in the winter. So it's kind of nice to have all three. So Champagne Pop's down there, the golden one, the one in the middle, the pink one is Opal, and the one at the top up here is Moonstone. So they're all super pretty, and it just depends on your skin tone and what you're looking for. Like I said, Moonstone looks great on me in the winter. Opal looks great in the summer. Champagne Pop kind of looks great whenever, but they're really beautiful powders. They're super finely milled. They look great on the skin. They work really well. And again, like I said, they're just like a perfect kind of, like, not every day, but just a little punched up. Tell you're wearing it, but not too much. I actually have Champagne Pop on my face right now, and I just think it looks so beautiful and pretty, and it's just the perfect highlighter. So I definitely reach for these Becca ones a lot, but honestly, I use almost all of these on a regular basis. I love switching it up and using new ones. They're just so pretty, and I just love to glow. So yeah, that is my whole highlight collection. What are some of your favorite highlights? Maybe ones I don't have that I should try because I love highlighters, or maybe, you know, tell me which one of mine is your favorite. Just leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you guys and have your recommendations or any of your thoughts. I would love to know them. So please leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to join our little adventure family here. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. So I will see you in my next adventure. Bye.